Subscribe now for daily exclusive fan fiction, and comment your desired scenario for our next thrilling adventure. Prepare for a journey where Legolas and Aragorn face dark temptations, test their bond, and uncover hidden desires that will change everything. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow through the towering trees of Mirkwood. Legolas and Aragorn walked side by side, their senses heightened by the dense, enchanted atmosphere surrounding them. The air was thick with the scent of pine and damp earth, a reminder that nature thrived in its wildest state. As they trekked deeper, shadows played tricks on their eyes, whispering secrets of old, secrets that only the forest knew. Tension hung between the two friends, palpable and electric. Legolas felt a stirring within him, a conflict that battled against the trust he held for Aragorn. They were united in purpose, yet the weight of the world's past lingered in the air, a shared burden both familiar and unsettling. Aragorn, ever the noble king, remained resolute, but Legolas saw the flicker of doubt mirrored in his eyes. This quest was not just about the relic, but about what it could mean for them both. As they paused by a shimmering brook, the soft murmur of water breaking against smooth stones sang a lullaby to their souls. Legolas knelt, mesmerized by the glint of the water under the waning light. It was in this serene moment that Aragorn stepped closer, his voice low and filled with a mixture of apprehension and intimacy. I fear what this journey may unearth within us. Legolas turned to meet his gaze, their breaths mingling in the cool evening air. The magnetic pull between them ignited, a burgeoning flame that neither could deny. In that enchanted forest, so rich with life and mystery, emotions swirled like the leaves caught in a gentle breeze. And as they drew closer, a silence enveloped them, promising both an adventure in the shadows and a revelation of deep, unspoken desires. As the twilight deepened, the shadows in Mirkwood grew bolder, wrapping around Legolas and Aragorn like a cloak of secrets. Their earlier conversation lingered in the air, unspoken words thick between them, a potent mixture of tension and desire. The allure of the ancient relic awaited them, but it was the awakening emotions that drew them into a storm of uncertainty. Legolas led the way, every step through the forest floor a reminder of the strength he felt alongside Aragorn, yet also the vulnerability that came with it. The charm of the trees whispered to him, urging him to explore this tangled web of feelings. He glanced back at Aragorn, whose expression flickered with resolute determination. Yet his eyes held a flicker of something deeper longing, perhaps, or fear. As they reached a clearing, a majestic grove bathed in silvery moonlight, their pace slowed. as if the very air conspired to heighten the moment. Legolas dared to break the silence, his voice barely above a whisper. What if this journey reveals more than we intended? Aragorn stepped closer, his breath grazing Legolas' skin like a brush of fire. And what if it leads us to a truth we've denied? His words unleashed the tension coiling within them like a spring ready to snap. Legolas' heart raced, the proximity sparking a fierce flame of emotions that engulfed him. In that ethereal grove, under the watchful gaze of the moon, they found themselves drawn together. A hesitation lingered between them, the world around them fading into insignificance as they navigated the depths of their shared desires. With an electric connection igniting their senses, Legolas reached out, fingers brushing against Aragorn's hand, igniting a fierce longing that transcended the realms they inhabited, binding them tighter in this untold narrative of love and courage. The darkened forest loomed ahead, pulsating with a malevolent energy that made Legolas and Aragorn's hearts quicken. They stood at the threshold to the ancient stronghold, its foreboding silhouette dancing against the starless sky. The relic they sought shimmered in their minds, but so did the weight of their unresolved emotions, twisting together like the roots of the old trees around them. Legolas felt a storm brewing inside him, a conflict between desire and loyalty. The spark ignited within their souls demanded reckoning. He turned to Aragorn, their gazes locking in a moment heavy with shared history. What if this relic corrupts us? He murmured, vulnerability within his voice. Aragorn stepped closer, their fingers almost touching, the air thick with unsaid words and deep feelings. We must trust in each other, Legolas. Regardless of the past, we face this darkness together. Those words hung in the air, a promise forged in the heat of their trials. As they entered the stronghold, shadows flickered and whispered, revealing an ancient guardian long forgotten. It was a being of pure dark magic, tempting them with power beyond comprehension. Legolas's heart raced as he sensed the energy drawing them closer, an intoxicating allure spilling over their careful boundaries. In the midst of a chaotic confrontation, emotions erupted like flames, raw and unrestrained. Betrayal danced around them, and Legolas felt the pulse of despair as trust hung by a thread. But in that turmoil, they found clarity in heart-wrenching moments that spurred them to fight against the growing darkness. Together, they unlocked a strength that transcended their fears, igniting a bond forged in love and redemption. As dawn broke, the shadows retreated and the air grew lighter. They emerged from the stronghold transformed, not just as warriors, but as partners in destiny. The journey had tested them, yet united in purpose and desire, they found reaffirmation in their legendary status, their hearts entwined forevermore.